We are looking at how can we revitalize the neighborhoods that are affected with addictions and to bring mental wellness to these communities. These projects will bring honor to this part of the city that all will and can see, a memorial to past and present who have struggled with their mental wellness and addictions. I would also like to share a little bit about me now. I work for Penquist as a peer specialist, but volunteer here at the Together Place. I am currently the Vice President of the Maine Mental Health Connection Board and the President of the Members Board. I represent and make sure that all of our members, past and present, have their voices heard and to be listened to, as this center belongs to the members. It is an honor to be part of this exciting opportunity for this community, to bring light to the stigma that surrounds mental health and addictions, that we can do well and can be well, that good people make bad choices, but from choices, growth can begin. To be able to honor mental wellness and well-being and addiction in our lives, in our community, and within our own families. To be able to bring light that is not shameful to ask for help, it is shameful not to. To be accepted for who you are, not by a diagnosis given. I believe that we all suffer from mental well-being, and addictions can happen to anyone. But here at this peer center, you are welcomed by people who have traveled the path of life, that they come with life experience that no one can measure but them. They can see their own growth, and they have discovered ways to move forward with their hopes and dreams. Their footpath is their badge of honor. Their experience and their story is theirs. No one can take that away from them. And for that, I honor them. To be able to walk their path to wellness for themselves is immeasurable by others, but not for them. It took hard work to turn their lives around, but it was an investment in themselves. And for that, we thank them for sharing and caring. Our services here are free to everyone. And that in itself is something not heard of, but it's done here. We do not pass judgment that is best left outside our doors. I encourage everyone to come and visit all the changes made inside and outside of this recovery center. You will be surprised from the moment you step inside to be welcomed for being you, to be accepted, to become a part of a community. How special is that? In closing, please invest in you. You matter to us, and life is worth you being here. Thank you for your time, and please consider visiting this amazing center for however you define your own recovery. I would like to take and welcome all the wonderful people on Zoom, and I would like to give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves so that we all get to know each other.
My name is Janelle Voristo, and I am with Penquist. Right now, we have a small grant to target the neighborhood, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd Street, right around the Together Place, using the whole family approach to reduce poverty and improve well-being for families in that neighborhood. So I'm here to make some connections and listen to you all and start those first steps and sort of taking an inventory of what's needed.
I'm Kevin. I've been going to Together Place for quite a while. I have joined groups for quite a while and stuff like that. I'm taking a training for SIPS training in April. I have come from long ways from back then to today, and I have my journey has been a better journey now today than it was back then, and I'm very proud of myself. I like to help people. I like to make people laugh and joke, and I am one of those people who has a very kind heart and caring.
I'm Doug Dunbar. I'm in Zoom meetings all day long, one after another. And I've been volunteering at the Together Place for 2.5 years, and it's been tremendous. I knew Sean Faircloth from growing up in politics and government and those sorts of things, but I didn't know where Sean was working until I got out of jail in 2018 and read the terrific story in the Bangor News about the mural being on the outside of the building, and it mentioned that Sean was at the Together Place. It described the mission of the Together Place, and because was in jail due to lifelong mental illness that I never got treated, that I began self-medicating with alcohol that led to alcoholism and eventually bad decisions in jail. I figured if there was any place that I should lend my time, it's to an organization that helps people with substance use disorders and mental health challenges. So I contacted Sean. He was one of the first individuals I told that I had been in jail, and after a 30-year career in government. And so I stopped by, and I've loved the place ever since, and try to volunteer regularly. I was there earlier today to lead a 1 o'clock class on budgeting basics.
I'm George Kinghorn. I'm the executive director and curator of the Zillman Art Museum, formerly the Maine Museum of Art in downtown Bangor. So very involved with both downtown and the arts community in the region. So happy to be with you.
I'm Lydia Richard. I'm the president of the board for Maine Mental Health Connections, which oversees the Together Place. I've been involved with for over 30 years. I've been involved with the organization, and I'm happy to see us making some progress in helping the community.
I'm Scott Blake. I'm the Chief Information Officer for Bangor Savings Bank. I'm here representing the bank, and I've worked with Sean for a number of projects over the years, and I'm happy to get involved in this one as well. And the bank also is anxious to participate in helping to beautify this part of the city.
Hey guys, my name's Sammy Ahern. I'm the Community Outreach Specialist at the Barn. Happy to be here.
My name is Susan Johnson, and I work at the Together Place as a peer support specialist and do groups. Nice to meet you all.
I'm Isabel. I'm actually an intern at the Together Place.
Thank you.
I'm really enjoying my experience there. Everyone there is just like really kind and supportive. I've lived in Bangor my whole life, so I'm really excited about this project and see how it'll help our community.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jack Williams. I've been a member and I've been a volunteer since September of 2017. And I came at a time where I needed something, a new project, something different to give me some focus. And, you know, I knew a member that was helping out at the time. And so through mutual acquaintances, I got started, and I've been here ever since. I'm on 3 different boards, and I also like to brag that I helped mentor Doug over here, whatever. And I'm honored to be involved in this project, and I would like to do what I can to help you guys and the community itself.
I'm Randy Hatch. My daughter and I started a Facebook group interested in saving some of the wonderful old homes in Bangor. And we both thought that perhaps our little group might be able to be somehow involved in the rehab and the care of that part of Bangor.
My name is Josh D'Alessio. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the director of the Hope House in Bangor, and grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm Claire Mundell. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm Sean's neighbor. And so I learned about Together Place through Sean. And from my work at Acadia, I did a lot of work in doing psychotherapy groups, and I found that the most powerful work was done among the patients that I worked with. And if I stayed quiet, a lot of good work would get done. And so I really love the premise that the Together Place is based on and the kind of work that they do. So I'm excited to be a part of this.
I am Abby Smith, and my pronouns are her and she, and I work at Health Equity Alliance. I am the Community Outreach Specialist. So it is nice to see all your happy faces.
Hi, my name's Ann Daly. I am Randy's daughter, so I'm the other person from the Saving Bangor's Houses group, and I'm really interested in how we can encourage all neighborhoods in Bangor to have pride in the sort of historical nature of our great city. So I'm really happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Sarah Yasner, and such a great group here tonight. I work for Bangor Public Health, and I have an experience of working over at the as a sort of a consultant with the barn for 3 years as they grew their recovery coaching program. So I have a lot of experience with that piece. And currently I'm the overdose response team coordinator. It's a new project that has come to Penobscot County and Bangor. We're collaborating with CHCS and Together Place and Barn and Heal and many of the organizations so that we can do follow up within 3 days of someone who's overdosed and support them in whatever way they want to be supported. So we're looking forward to working with Together Place and Barn and the recovery coaches to make that happen. And then just as a note, especially because I know there's folks on who are looking at preserving historic buildings. So my other hat, it's a tiny hat because it's just a few hours a week, but I coordinate our childhood-led poisoning prevention program. So I have a lot of it information about how to safely renovate homes and what you want to be careful about and all those pieces. So that's another piece I would be happy to bring to the table. So thanks so much.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. I'm Noah Nesson. I'm a family doctor and the chief medical officer at PCHC here in Bangor, and we collaborate with a number of the organizations represented by people on this call tonight. And it's always great to, and with the city, of course, and it's always great to have an opportunity to learn from you all, which has been the most rewarding part of my work in this role with this organization. The chance to work with and learn from people like you. So I'm looking forward to this as well. Thanks.
My name is Marwa Hassanan. I am the new Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Northern Light Health. I know Sean Faircloth and Claire Mundell through different organizations that we are part of, and they have both pulled me on board, and I'm very honored to be part of this project.
Thank you all, everybody. I'm so glad you all came. My name is Jackie. I'm the program director here at Together Place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each person come up one at a time and show you so you guys can say hi to them.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica. I'm the secretary of the Together Place board. I'm Irene Larrabee, one of the volunteers.
Hello, I'm Devin. I'm the vice president of the members board. I see I got Vicky right here with us and everybody. I'm glad you guys could make it with us. I've been a member with the Together Place for about 2 years now. I've done a lot of accomplishments thanks to the Together Place. I got to learn new things, how to be a volunteer. I've learned growth, and I think I want to be able to help to make the community a little bit better, because I think we all can work together and work as a team.
Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm part of the CRC, and I like volunteering here.
Hi, my name's Eric. I've been a member for 20 years, and the club has helped me out tremendously since I've been here.
Hello, my name is Francis. I've been Together Place about, I think, 2 years now. I've done a lot of accomplishments. I am on CRC here at Together Place, and I love helping out people, and I love volunteering, and would like to try to make the community better. Especially, I live on Warren Street, and they need some help there. And hoping today we can make things a better place to live.
Hello, I'm Annette King. I've been a member here for 7 years. I started here part-time in 2017, and now I'm here full-time with a couple other jobs. And I manage the kitchen, and we do voc rehab services in the kitchen. A lot of the members have been cooked a lot for tonight from scratch, and we also do voc rehab services throughout the building, and I do peer support here, and we facilitate groups. So welcome, everybody.
Hello, I'm Joe Perry. Lived in Bangor. I'm a board member. I'm one of the 4 state reps representing Bangor in the Maine legislature. I've known Sean mainly through politics for 30 years. I've seen how he takes big ideas, brings people together, get us all pulling in the same direction and tackling big problems and making them happen. That's why I wanted to be on the board, and that's why I wanted to be here tonight.
My name is Seneca, they, them. I'm just here to represent Greater Bangor Housing Coalition. I'm a volunteer slash member of Needlepoint Sanctuary and GBHC. And there's another volunteer sitting in with her, or with them, sorry. My name is Blue, they, them. I'm here as a volunteer from Needlepoint Sanctuary and from Greater Bangor Housing Coalition. We are involved with the beautification and healing of the community.
Next, we're going to turn it over to Sean. He has a PowerPoint for you guys.
I just want to thank our MMHC board chair because we have such a diverse group. Westside Village residents who are directly affected by this in attendance, Together Place members in attendance, representatives from business and finance community, representatives from social services like PCHC and CHCS, representatives from the city, elected officials like Joe. I know that Laura Supika is coming in for this Zoom meeting as well, and Senator Gratwick has directly participated in ideas for this meeting, folks from the civic and religious communities, and our advisory board chair, new advisory board chair, Claire Mondell. I'm very much appreciative of her help and all of our board members. So we have a good diverse group here together to talk about the Westside Village as a focus. You can see the map on your screen. I would point out to you the owner versus renter ratio, 69% and then 77% designates a very high ratio of renters to homeowners compared to most other parts of the city of Bangor. This kind of illustrates part of the challenge that we face, which combines socioeconomic issues with issues of recovery that we'll discuss further. This is Bangor's highest overdose neighborhood, according to the pinpoint maps that have been done of the city, and that's saying something significant because Bangor is Maine's highest overdose city. Even more underscoring this fact is that Penobscot County last year had more ODs than Cumberland County. So we're talking about Cumberland County being almost twice the population of Penobscot County. So that gives you a context that we do face a significant challenge, particularly in this section of the city. And it is a challenged neighborhood in a prominent location. So here, if you can see my cursor, Together Place is located right here, right across the street from the Historical Society. When you cross the street, that is downtown. By definition of the city, this is not downtown. And so we've obviously, for those who have lived here for years, we know that downtown has revitalized significantly over the last 20 years, and people are proud of that revitalization. We've also, for those who remember, there used to be sort of abandoned warehouses and whatnot down here. Now we have a waterfront park. We have the waterfront concerts drawing people from southern Maine to Bangor, and we have the new development of the Bangor Savings Bank all in this sector. So two of what I'd say are probably the most visible sections of the city, bordered by this, the most walkable neighborhood to downtown and to the waterfront in the city, which also happens to be the highest overdose neighborhood in the city. And what we want to work on is a compassionate approach. Last year, we hosted a overdose vigil with Health Equity Alliance HEAL. And through those discussions, we collaborated with HEAL about a plan for adding murals to Together Place, really arting the place up. And that is certainly a plan we are continuing with Together Place, if you will, as the front door to this inner West Side Village neighborhood. Then you see a vision of Together Place as a community center, a real community center. And we've worked on ways to expand upon this. We're primarily, our primary mission, led by Jackie and all the certified intentional peer support specialists, is recovery groups, the kind of recovery groups you might expect, and very central and important to us. But we've added things like, with a grant and with the sponsorship of the Bangor Daily News, a creative coffee house monthly speaker series of writers and artists coming to our location. Since the pandemic, we've suspended that, but it will continue once guidelines allow through the CDC for us to host those, and we have funding for about 8 more of those monthly Creative Coffee House speaker series, bringing people into our building, the broader community into our building. We also have creative recovery groups. So in addition to our traditional recovery groups, we have creative writing. We have a group ongoing now with a woman who has a degree in English literature from UCLA. We're starting another creative writing group this Friday, in fact. Tell your friends. And that will involve, as studies show, that creative expression helps people to sustain their recovery. And we have a small grant that funds, if you know of people, artists. We provide a small stipend for artists, people involved in literature, to come and co-facilitate these groups with our SIPs. So really both helping our membership, but also inviting the community in to Together Place. And that's what we want to be, as an inviting community center. One major step in that inviting community center was the board authorized me to select prominent historical and cultural figures in Maine that would face the Bangor Historical Society on one side. You see that mural here. And then on the other side of our building, facing the Y, prominent Maine athletes. And I couldn't be more excited with the artwork and what people have said about the artwork of Liam Reading. Liam is very interested, by the way, in this project and wants to be involved. And so many compliments we've had about his artwork and how it's really made us more of an inviting center on the outside. This used to be a blood red building with kind of plaster falling off the building, and now we have a much more inviting look. Inside, within the building, we built a small stage, and in there we have now a 68-piece Stories of Maine exhibit, which really is, there's nothing like it in Portland or the capital. It really is like a museum of Maine arts and literature with vivid images that were professionally photographed by Bill Dwyer, and then with text that really explains a whole myriad of Maine arts and literature. So when you're a poet doing a reading here, as we've had, you're really kind of inspired by and surrounded by the arts and literature of our heritage of the state. So an inviting community center for a neighborhood that needs, that very much needs to have a community center, meetings for people working on the issues that this neighborhood faces, and to feel that they are welcome and comfortable in that neighborhood. With HEAL, we've talked about arting up this building, and this is one sector for it, which, by the way, has 10,000, I checked with the city engineer, 10,000 vehicles pass per day by this spot. Hundreds on the 2nd Street side. And so we're going to art this up, and you got to picture the whole area as your canvas if you're an artist. So the doors, the stairs, everything can be your art. You got to think visionary and think big, and say to have the art kind of take over and energize this building as an inviting community center. And then think of personal recovery, but also think of neighborhood recovery. And that's really what we're focusing on here. How we bring our membership into not being people who are stigmatized, but people who are welcomed into the leadership of making community change. And a part of my inspiration for this is Stephen King's It. Now people say, well, that doesn't seem very inspiring, because most people think of this guy, the scary clown, Mr. Pennywise. But however, really, if you read the novel It, you'll find that the lead character in the story, lead female character, Beverly, grows up here. Stephen King designates this section right here as where she grew up, and she was an abused girl in the story of It, which was written 35 years ago. And Stephen King knows the neighborhood well, because he lived right here before he got his first, here on Sanford Street, before he got his first novel contract. So he knows it well. And Stephen King was the one who said in the novel It that the distance between West Broadway, where he and where Susan Collins live, is a mile and a quarter, but more like from here to Mars in terms of some of the socioeconomic issues that we face. So Beverly, the lead female character, is the one who unites people, the so-called Losers Club, to do things where vulnerable people really bring recovery together. And that's really what we're hoping to achieve here in this section of Bangor. And so let's turn to some of the ideas that have already been brought forward. The mural collaboration, yes, on this building, but perhaps also we work on a mural collaboration that looks at other sections. And I can tell you, as someone who is an inveterate walker in the city, that I myself, and I'm sure many others, have ideas of potential mural locations throughout this section of the city. And many a community has been successful with adding on murals as an arts district that really help re-energize a section of the city. We also have the inspirational idea of kind of having a handy person team. Actually, it was Senator Gratwick, who I think has joined us, who really inspired this idea. And he's much less scary than Pennywise. So we thank Senator Gratwick for being with us. You can see how he's much more welcoming than Pennywise. And could you imagine, I think, with Senator out there with your hammer and your nails, which I'm unfamiliar with those objects, but Senator Gratwick is, and we'd help and work on porches in this neighborhood and really work together to lift up this section of the city. Third, an idea that's been discussed is community gardens. I spoke with the woman who helps manage the community garden over on Essex Street on behalf of the city of Bangor, and she likes this idea. She's ill today, but she is eager to help us and advise us and collaborate on possibilities for a community garden in this section of the city. So these are just three possible concepts to really get this project moving, to really revitalize a section of the city that, as Stephen King's It illustrates, has been an area of challenge for our community for many decades. But I think if we unite and really include everyone in the process, in a recovery process for people and a recovery process for the community, we can make a big, exciting difference. But really, I want to get to the more important part, which is you all discussing not just these three ideas, but more ideas that have not been raised yet from you. So I'd like to turn it back over to Vicki, the chair of the Together Place Peer Run Recovery Board, because they are the governors and drivers of this process for both hearing new ideas, but also then moving to perhaps subcommittees where we could collaborate on really getting to work on addressing what is a big and I think exciting challenge. And Together Place can be a community center that really becomes a locus for the whole neighborhood to energize itself. So I'll thank you. And now I'd turn things over to Madam Chair.
Thank you, Sean. So he gave us a lot of information.
I have no green thumbs, so I'm not going to be the best for the garden, but I definitely wanted to just bring up, I think I loved everything that Sean had brought up in regards to the mural collaboration, handy person team, and the community garden. But before that, and I know we've talked in previous times about us getting together and just doing a sweep. A lot of us that are community outreach specialists, we go out and we canvass the areas in Bangor. And I know that we've talked about that, Sean, before, about getting together and having even a cleanup and just saying hi. It wouldn't be today. Today wouldn't have been a good day, but when the weather gets a little bit warmer, being able to get us together to just go out. And I also believe that seeing some of the faces on here tonight is just hopeful all in itself. It makes me just feel excited to see all the people that are here and are willing to, work towards our community and overall work for, the mural and also overdose awareness for next year, as we did last year, and getting together at the Together Place.
In terms of the neighborhood, I mean, I have a general sense, of the problems and the issues, but I wonder, Sean or someone else, what are the greatest needs, or and maybe that's too broad, but I definitely like the idea of getting out and just getting to know the neighbors and cleaning up neighborhoods and helping in that way. But I'm just wondering if there are other other needs or issues that I might be missing because I don't really know that neighborhood.
I'm a part of Needlepoint, which is safe use, harm reduction, and overdose prevention. And I know that there's a lot of intersections of, the issues that are going on inside, our neighborhoods with what's going on with our houses community. And I believe that their input would be really, really valuable.
Yeah, I live on Warren Street. I've been there for 2 years now, and 3 years now actually, and I've seen a lot of drugs and stuff go on, especially in the place I live on Warren Street. I don't know, about
maybe just getting the name here that, you know, people can come here and get better, because it's definitely helping a lot of people.
A lot of the people that rent there, they have slumlords, and I'm wondering how how are we going to be able to reach out to these people that, I mean, they're getting money from people renting from them, but they don't seem to be putting that money into the housing.
This is Randy. I would piggyback off that. I was just thinking, because we have such a high rental rate there, if there might be a landlord or two that the city might help us identify that might want to collaborate and would gain some fix up of their building with maybe the sweat equity of the renters with the cut in rent or something. I don't know. It seems like there must be some landlords that would be invested and interested. So
There's a beautiful park down there, and there's been a lot of violence in that park. And I'd like to see, like you were talking about the gardens and things like that, I'd like to see that park get activated with the murals and everything else. And I think when people do things in their community, I think people would take pride in maybe having gardens. I know some of the community gardens were way out by the college, and I'm a person that doesn't have a car, so I couldn't get out there. You know, this would be in town, and maybe it would get people interested in their community.
Some of you may know of Scott Party and the Fresh Start Sober Living Homes, that there are now 7 of them in Bangor and Brewer, and 2 or 3 of them are in your section of Bangor. And I can envision a collaboration perhaps with also drug court participants. I'm a 2019 graduate of the Penobscot County Drug Court Program, always looking for volunteer projects. I can just see collaborations that might bring more people who are in recovery or seeking recovery to the Together Place and into the neighborhood to make a difference. So Sean, maybe you and I and Vicki and others can talk about that at some point. Thanks.
Thank you. That sounds really good.
I might suggest, if Doug, that's an excellent idea, and then maybe we could look at the possibility of some subcommittees this evening that could address these very, people who would volunteer for different subcommittees. And I just want to mention real quickly, is it Brooke who's the artist? Because I'd love to get a meeting going with some of the artistic folks, not just people who are artists themselves, but people who are interested in the murals project with Vicki and the board, because I know Liam Reading is interested. We have Keith, who's a member of Together Place, who's an excellent artist. So I'd like to, get a subcommittee working on those issues, perhaps. When people mention housing, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but since the MMHC board president mentioned, I think I will mention that Roger, who had my position years ago, he has hinted to me about should Together Place Housing look into, maybe, this is only a maybe, but a possibility of another apartment building or something in this neighborhood where we make a commitment that we're going to, keep that building ship shape. And I will say there are slumlords, but there's also landlords who do a good, responsible job and do want to help out. So there are landlords who are collaborative.
This is Janelle from Penquist, and I would love to be in the garden committee with you. Part of our funding is to implement things to address food insecurity. So I think we could possibly provide some funding to support community gardens. So I'd love to be on that committee with you.
What does that mean? The handy person, what would that entail?
So that entails people going out and fixing up the porch. So under that, is there anyone that has an interest to run that subcommittee?
I would co-run it.
I could help. I mean, I don't know about leading, but I can help.
Thank you, Jack.
The subcommittees are supposed to flesh out these ideas, right? And really come back to this group maybe in a month and give us an update. And okay. All right. Thank you.
This is Abby. I would like to be a part of the subcommittee for the handy person team, if that's what we're calling it, or the community cleanup. And I would also love to be a part of the mural collaboration.
So for the big meeting, for this meeting here, we're going to reconvene April 13th at 5:30. For your subcommittees, I leave that up to the discretion of the people that are chairing it. but I would like to see that you meet within 3 weeks anyway. I want to thank everyone for coming together tonight, and the turnout was amazing. And I want to thank Sean for everything you've done to make sure that the turnout was amazing.
Oh, I just wanted to say that went wonderful. Good job, Vicky.